child that your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place? Under cover of my skin, I've heard all your names. If it's all the same, I'll keep on walking. Under cover of my skin, I've heard all your names. If it's all the same, I'll keep on walking. Who'da stayed hung up? Who'da been knocked down? But here I stand, a man whose roots he understands, and I'm gonna hold my head up high. I was told that
Welcome to Inside Running Podcast Daily. It is the 2nd of August, our first episode of the Daily Show here. A massive thank you to all our Patreon supporters for making this little project possible throughout the next 9 or 10 days, covering the 2024 Paris Olympic track program, the distance stuff. That's what we're looking at. A massive welcome to my co-host, Bradley Crokes, up there in Canberra. Just tells me he hasn't had dinner yet, but he's had 2 beers. So this should be fun. Crokes, how are you?
Good, Brady. Yeah, I had a train with a couple of guys this afternoon from home, and then when we finished the session, I'm like, "I'll come in for a beer or two," and they stayed, watched the 3 heats, and have just left. So yeah, no dinner, no shower, but excited to chat to you blokes tonight.
Our other co-host, Crokes, I'm very excited to have this man here. He was an Olympian in 2016, where he competed in the 800 metres and the 1500 metres, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, and best mates with Josh Kerr, I'm calling him, who just had a pretty impressive run. Luke Mathews, welcome back to the Inside Running Podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I think the last time I was on, did anything for Inside Running was the Josh Kerr interview. So, yeah, it's good. And talking about dinner, I actually just had a beer and 15 chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. So my my prep for Western Region Football League slightly different to my Olympic preparation about 8 years ago.
Are you playing tomorrow? Got a game?
Yeah, I'm playing in the Magoos though, so I'm playing a bit early, kicking the dew off the grass.
Does
How's,
it?
how's the body, Luke?
Yeah, give us an update.
Oh, a bit sloppy, but not too bad. I don't know if I swear, but I
We can
cooked my
swear. We
shoulder.
can swear.
I fucked my shoulder a few months back, and had a few weeks off, but not too bad besides that. I'll tell you what though, they do hit a little bit harder than the Kenyans, the Western Region footballers. Where the Kenyans, you can just give them a push and they go flying. But yeah, these guys are probably 100 kegs, and I can't really do too much.
Okay, so we will get to the 1500 metres. A reminder, we've got our text line happening here in the comments on YouTube. So if you want to say something, that's the best place where we can see it popping up live. We'll also make lines available in about 10, 15 minutes. I can see that somebody has already put there. I'll add him straight in. He always just disappeared on me. So we will put a link in the comments shortly. So if anyone wants to, tell us their thoughts, their opinions. I'm quite a bit shocked at this stage as well. It's a man who can join the conversation now and help us make sense of all of that. Krisso from Norway, welcome to you. You can join us on this episode as well. How you going?
Thank you. I'm fine. I was dead nervous, but I'm better now.
Yeah, so you're not nervous anymore, whereas us here in Australia are very, very nervous and concerned, and we're all Googling what does replicharge mean, and I'm Crokes is the expert on that, and he's going to explain in a second, but let's go to heat 1 first. So Ollie, straight on the shoulder, I'm going to say, like good positioning the whole way, bit of a slow first lap, 60 seconds, and in my opinion, I haven't prepared any notes or anything, obviously it just happened. The longer the race went, the worse it looked. Have I got that right, Luke? What are you looking at when you see this kind of stuff happening?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. I feel like in all of the heats there was just so much shoulder checking the whole way, and they weren't super quick. Like I think they all went through 800 in like 2 minutes or slower. So they were pretty quick third laps and then going into the last. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really confused by all the heats, but especially that third one. Who was it? I think it was Hall, Garcia. There was a handful in there, but then even the top guys, pretty much anyone besides Kerr, they all didn't look fantastic. So I don't know. I thought maybe there might be some heat coming into play or something like that. But yeah, to be honest with you, my takeaways from Heat 1 was that Kerr was. I mean, I know he only ran 3:36, but far out, he looked a lot better than what I expected him to. So, but away from that, I'm really unsure. Hoare, I mean, it is very sad, but you know, if Com Games is anything to go by, a couple of years back, I'm sure he can bounce back pretty quick in these repechage rounds or whatever the fuck they are.
So, Crokes, give us an explanation. What are they? Tomorrow? Is that when it happens? Don't roll your eyes
Yeah.
at me. This is confusing stuff.
It's not that confusing. So the top 6 from each heat tonight goes straight through to the semi-finals. So there's 3 heats, top 6 from each, so that's 18. Everybody that doesn't make it through to the semi-finals goes into a repechage. And so there'll be 2 heats of the repechage. Top 3 from each of those will go through to the semi-final to make it 24. Got me? So 18 plus 6 is 24.
So
Yep.
So they will have to race 4 times to
So they
make it.
have to do
slower.
an extra race.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
essentially instead of quickest losers, it's just another round.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
And so 6, so there's only 6 spots left now for the semis.
Yeah. So I was trying to make sense of the repechage last week, and that was my understanding as well, Crokes. But I had an opinion that the repechage rounds, realistically, if you're running in the repechage rounds, you're not having any impact. And my opinion on it was that realistically, the medals are probably just going to come from the top 18 or the automatic qualifiers. Now, with the quality of athletes that are actually in the repechage rounds, it might change everything completely.
Yeah. I think, though, it's going to be very hard to medal if you've had to run a repechage round.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But what's also stopping someone from seeing, Kerr, Hoare, XYZ in a heat and thinking, nah, fuck it, I'm just going to pretend to fall over and then just go and win the repechage round? Anything?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Maybe spirit of the games and all that shit, but
Well, I was so I was wondering what would have happened if somebody fell, because in the past, if somebody fell in the heats, they would get basically straight through to the semis. Whereas if you fell in the heats, do they say, well, tough luck, there's a repechage, you do get a second chance. You don't automatically go through to the semis. I reckon that's what would have happened.
that's actually not a bad shout, to be honest, because we've seen so many of that in the last few championships. Hey, it was better to fall in some championships than it was to bloody finish.
Yeah.
What amazed me, though, it also goes to show that Olympics and championship racing is so different to diamond leagues. Like, how many times have you seen, like, Ollie and Stewie not be in the top handful in the premier meets in the world, and they're finishing way down the field in heats of an Olympics? It just shows, one, it's different racing, and two, just the depth in world 1500 meters at the moment. Like, just about, well, outside of probably Kerr and Ingebrigtsen, like, the rest can just about beat each other.
Yeah.
Do you get worried watching Kerr there, Luke? Like, he got himself in some awkward positions, and Krisso with Ingebrigtsen at the end there, like, they make it difficult watching.
You go, Chris.
Jacob said on the interview afterwards with the national TV that he was really nervous, that it was a lot of people around him that was fighting early, that he said this was all a risk reward. And when he, on the last finish, the last 100 meters, he was just counting people and tried his best to not fall over. He said that this time it was way more chaotic than he thought. And in the Europeans, it's different level. So this time he was really, really nervous. It was a quite humid, humble Jacob at the interview. He was like big relief that, finally this is over. The semi-final is 12 people, probably will be a lot faster race. We need to remember last Olympics, they broke the Olympic record in the semi-final when the Kenyan guy hit the front early. So Jacob was just, he was really relieved. And Norway, he said he had almost not slept for 3 days, had been thinking about this race since the Europeans. Said just these heats, we have everything to lose, and it's so many people, it's just chaotic to be out there. So they were really happy, both of them. Said hopefully we can have some days where we can sleep now.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
What I find amazing though is like, and not to consider myself in that same stratosphere as the Kerrs and the Ingebrigtsens and stuff like that. But say for example,